start this bad boy up. Start her up. Start her up. Stream is underway. We getting emails yet? There's the email alert. Perfect. And we're live. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Testing the audio. 1 1 1 2 2 2 3 3 3. Test. All right. Starting the stream up. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hopefully it will be a good stream today. We're talking comic convention survival guide. So hopefully we'll have some people in the stream today. I started the stream a little early today just to make sure everything's okay. If there's any audio problems or any type of issues with the stream, with the encoder, I want to nail it down before I really get heavy into the stream. Let's check the chat, make sure the chat's okay. Check. See if it comes up. Okay, perfect. I was having issues with the OBS earlier, so that's why I wanted to fire this thing up as soon as possible. All right, looks okay. Taking a look at my other monitor. Excellent. Let's take a look here. Cool. Getting alerts. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Excellent. Excellent. We'll just give it a couple minutes before people come into the chat. Hopefully people will be interested in the chat today. Something a little different. With comic conventions coming across now in the beginning of July, Comic-Con season is really fast approaching. That's the reason why I'm putting this actual stream together. I thought it'd be a very, very good idea. I hope you guys like it. Hopefully you enjoy it. If not, that's okay. I'll talk to myself. That's okay. I have no issues with that at all. And we'll give it a couple more minutes just to make sure everything's okay. We have another person that came in. Cool, cool, cool. Drink of choice today is Diet Coke. We're doing something called Fiesta Cherry. Something a little different. And then after I get done with that, we're doing Zesty Blood Orange. I'm not a big Diet Coke guy, but I saw these and I thought they sounded really, really cool. So I just wanted to do a drink. I'm not sponsored by Diet Coke at all. I just wanted to do something a little different. Thanks for coming into the chat. We're going to start it up in about a minute or two. Hopefully people will be interested in some comic convention survival guide tips. Put together my nice little list here. You'll probably see me referring to my list on my phone throughout this particular video. But I can't even see anything. It's all white. There it is. Coming right there. So I have my notes here. I'll probably put these into the actual stream notes at the end of the actual video when it goes up into the VOD as well. So you might see it a little bit brighter behind me. I have my tripod lights kind of flanking me, giving me some more light because it's a little dim most of the time. So I think it looks okay right now. Is the sound okay for people who are in the chat right now? Just let me know if you can hear me okay. It looks like it's okay from what I'm seeing through OBS. I think it's okay. I'm assuming it's okay. Hopefully the quality is good. What I'm seeing here doesn't look that great over here. Let me just adjust it to this one here. There we go, much better. I had to adjust the audio on my other monitor. The quality was a little poor on the other monitor. No issues with OBS. Everything's holding straight right now. We'll start the stream in a second here. I wanted to get it ready, like I said, a little early just to make sure everything was sound. I want to make sure the sound was okay, the quality was okay, no issues. Oh, there you go. Hey, Rainbow Optimus. Yeah, I saw it on mine. It was a little funky. I had to make an adjustment on my little gear on the side of YouTube. And I took it off of auto. I picked the highest setting I possibly could, and it looks okay now. You might just give it a second for it to actually pick up. It is pulling at 30 frames per second, so it is streaming okay. So it is what it is. So it is 9 p.m. It is stream time. Thank you, Rainbow Optimus, for coming into the stream like you normally always do. So we're talking about Comic Convention Survival Guide. Stuff that I've actually accrued knowledge in when I was going to comic conventions for years ago. And I thought, you know what? Because the comic conventions are coming really soon now. They really start up. The big ones start up with San Diego Comic-Con, which is in two weeks. Not this weekend, the next weekend is when San Diego Comic-Con is. And then they're going to have a lot of comic conventions rolling out sporadically through the months. The earlier ones was MegaCon, which I think was in May down in Florida. I'm going to be referring a lot in this video to SuperCon. That's the actual con I'm going to be talking about a lot in this particular video as an example. Because it's a decent-sized convention. I always call it a medium con. It's getting much larger now. They had to actually change their venue just because they're getting more and more people. So that's what I'm going to be referring to in this video is SuperCon. So I think Rainbow Optimist left. So that's okay. Hopefully people come into the stream. I'll keep going and keep talking about what I'm talking about. Not a problem here, guys. I don't think a lot of people might show up for this stream because it's very, very, it's a very niche topic. So I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Rainbow Optimist. Yeah, it really stinks. I definitely love going to conventions. Something I really started doing when I was much younger, and I went with a very good friend of mine who brought me into, let's say, MegaCon, which is the con I really kind of broke into in Central Florida. We're getting some encoding issues, so hopefully it's okay on my end. I'm not dropping frames. I think everything is okay right now. Excellent, good. So, comic conventions. Let's talk about Comic-Cons. I'm going to give you my do's and don'ts, my tips and tricks that I've accumulated through the years. This stream is really, and this VOD is really designed for people that have never been to a comic convention before, or they've been to a comic convention and maybe trying to figure out some new ideas, things they can do a little more efficiently, things like that. That's what this stream is really designed for. So let's do a test here, make sure the stream's okay still. Test, make sure everything is fine. I think everything is okay right now. So, let's talk what I've learned through the years. First, let's talk about the tickets. You always want to buy your tickets, the earlier the better. That's when you get usually the best deal. Usually after a con has finished, they'll start maybe a few days or a few weeks later, start putting up the next bout of tickets for the following year. Usually it's deeply discounted. I mean, severely discounted. We're talking like half price, buy one, get one free. And as you get closer and closer to the next convention, thanks, Rainbow Optimist. As you get closer to the next convention, they'll start losing their discounted prices. They'll start going from, let's say, 40% to 30%, 35%. Hey, Jackie, thanks for coming in the chat. Thank you very much. I was having some issues with the audio, but I think it's okay now. It might be a little blurry. I think it's the encoder, or maybe it's YouTube running a little slow. I'm not entirely sure. So I'm keeping an eye on it just in case. My encoder's not dropping any frames, so that's a good thing. So yeah, as you get closer to the convention, the discounts will start dropping off. I mean, as far as last week went for SuperCon, the tickets were about 10% discount. So the further you can buy the tickets away from the convention, the better the discount you're going to get. This might sound like a very odd little thing, but it's extremely important, guys. Definitely get plenty of rest the night before the convention. And the reason why I say that, you could be running around like with your head cut off, like you're a chicken with a head cut off. You definitely want to get as much possible rest as you can possibly get your hands on. I would say 8 to 10 hours at the minimum. The more rest you get, the better you will be the following day. Next, you also want to plan out who you're going to see for your panels and keep an eye out for cancellations and reschedules when necessary. The reason why I say this is even for SuperCon, as I'm mentioning as this example right now, they've had a lot of people in the last, I would say the last 2 weeks, high-end actors have canceled leading up to the convention, and that could throw everyone off their game as far as who they want to see for their convention. Now, if you're not familiar, you're new to doing comic conventions, they usually have what are called Q&A panels. Usually they'll have this time boxed way ahead of time, and they'll be filling up their time slots for their panel discussions. This can be actors, this can be cosplayers, this could be YouTubers, this could be voice actors, this can be any number of people doing a Q&A panel. You definitely want to keep your eyes open for who you want to see and on what day you want to see them. If you're doing a multi-day convention, meaning you're going, let's say, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they usually have different layouts for Q&As inside their catalogs of who is going to be doing Q&As at what given time. You want to definitely keep an eye open for those particular time slots. You can't hear anything, Rainbow? Can you hear anything, Jackie? Just let me know, please. I can see the mic moving, so I'm assuming it's okay. Can you hear me okay, guys? Just curious. The only reason I'm asking is because Rainbow's saying you can't hear anything. Hopefully it's all right. I'm seeing my mic work. I'm seeing that the mic is moving. I'm not seeing any issues with it. Is the mic okay? Can you please let me know in chat? I'll give it a second. Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. You might want to refresh your stream, Rainbow. That might be an issue, possibly. So at least Jackie can hear me. As I was saying, let me go back to my notes here. There we go. Perfect. Hold on 1 second. Excellent. So definitely keep your eyes open for the multi-day Q&A panels, only because you can run into conflicts, and this is what I was going to get at. You can be wanting to see a person on a certain day panel, but you're going to have a conflict with someone else you want to see on that given day. You got to make a choice here, guys. You got to pick who you really want to see. If it's a multi-day convention you're going to, usually they'll have the same person speaking on different days. If that person is scheduled to be at the convention on different days, they might not be. They might not be. But if most of the time they'll have a Q&A for multiple days, keep an eye out. Yeah, Rainbow, it's okay. From what Jackie's telling me, she can hear me on her end. It might be on your end, Chief. You might want to just refresh your screen, refresh your YouTube page, see if that helps. It is, Jackie says she's getting sound, so it's not my mic, and I know my mic is moving right now, so I don't think it's on my end. Definitely come out and come back in, see if that helps. Definitely keep, like I said, for Q&A, keep an eye out for cancellations. If you have yourself time boxed for a certain particular time, you may run into a conflict, and that guy's gone now. So you might want to reschedule this. Pick this, usually you'll release a schedule about a week before the convention, most of the time. Most of the time, you might have a PDF of the actual brochure that I'll have for all the Q&As, who's going to be there. Time box how you want to do your stuff. Is the sound okay now, Jackie, still? Please let me know. I think it's okay. My mic is moving, so it leads me to believe it's all right. I'm not dropping any frames, so I think we're okay. Please let me know, Jackie, if you can still hear me, please. If you just came... If you can, Jackie, is it okay on your end? Please let me know. I think it's okay on my end. Please let me know, let me know, let me know. Thank you, Jackie. So, definitely keep an eye out for multi-days. If you have a conflict, make sure it works for you. Now, I have an issue with my SuperCon. I'm going to be seeing Robin Lloyd Wright, the guy who plays Penguin from the Gotham series. I'm going to get a pop sign from him, and I want to go to his panel. The problem is his panel starts at 5:15 on Saturday, and it's going to conflict with the FSCW wrestling event, which takes place at 6 o'clock. His panel runs for about an hour, so I'm going to be running into a problem. His panel will end at 6:15. I have to make a compromise and either leave his panel early to get get decent seatings. Okay. I have to actually figure out how, as far as seatings will go, if I want to go earlier to leave early to get a good seat at the wrestling show, or leave later, take my chances, listen to the full panel, and make a decision. I got to make a choice here. I'm going to be leaving a little earlier so I get a decent seating at the event. So definitely keep your eye on cancellations and rescheduling, because it has happened, at least at SuperCon especially. They had several well-known, well-named guys. I mean, Dave Bautista canceled. Franklin, the guy who played Riker in Star Trek, he left too. As far as he actually canceled his showing up. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the guy who played Riker on Star Trek Next Generation, he's canceling. No problem, Rainbow. Not a problem, sir. Catch me on the VOD. It'll go up in about an hour or so. So no problem. No worries, dude. Don't worry about it. I'll keep going. No biggies. We're talking about here. Let's keep going on. One of the biggest enemies at a comic convention is time. Time is your biggest enemy. You only have a finite amount of it at a show. That's the biggest problem. You have to basically time box everything if you're doing a lot of Q&A panels. Me personally, I'm not doing a lot of Q&A panels at this particular event. I'm doing one, as I said, near the end of the day. That's the only one I'm really going to be doing. I'll be shooting a lot of video at that actual convention at SuperCon. I did it last year. If you saw my SuperCon 2017 video, the 2018 video will be very, very similar to it. I'll be talking cosplayers. I'll be looking at booths. I'll be taking shots of all the memorabilia and the merch. I'll be picking stuff up to do toy hunts, and there'll be music sporadic throughout the entire video like I normally do before. Very, very similar. If you watched my 2017 SuperCon video, if you didn't, definitely take a look at it after the VOD. After the stream, rather. Next, we have make a spending budget and stick to it. And what I mean by that is make a goal of how much money you're going to bring to the show. Don't go over your bankroll. Very much if you went to a casino, you don't want to exceed your budget. Stick to your guns. If you say, I'm taking out $200 for this convention on X amount of days, or whatever those numbers are going to be, definitely stick to your guns. Don't overspend. Don't go beyond your means. Definitely know how much money you have to play with and what you want to spend in this particular event. If you're going for multiple days, take your bankroll and break it up apart based on those days. That's what I recommend doing. I'm going just for one day for this particular convention, so that's how I'm breaking my money up. So I'm going to be looking at my money and going, okay, I have X amount of dollars to spend at this convention. I know exactly where my limit is. Don't go over your limit, guys. Definitely stick to your budget. There's another very, very simple thought. Dress comfortably and wear light clothing. For example, shorts and t-shirts. So dress comfortably, wear light shorts and a light t-shirt. Only because you don't want to be very, very bulky. Steer clear from jeans. You don't want jeans. You don't want to overheat yourself. You want to keep yourself saturated. And I'll talk about that more in a second here. Wear comfortable sneakers. You will be walking a lot. There's going to be a lot of walking when you go to a comic convention. Very similar to, let's say you went to a theme park, you're going to be walking around all day. Definitely wear good, comfy shoes. Absolutely. You don't want to cramp up and pull a hammy. Definitely don't want to do that. This is very, very, it might sound very, very small, but it's extremely important on this one, guys. Parking. Get to the convention as early as you possibly can. The earlier, the better. And the reason why I say this is because last year at SuperCon, I got there around 9 o'clock in the morning. I was there, I started my shooting around 10:30. I had people, friends of mine, who got there around 11 to 11:30 to around 12. They were in the parking lot, I kid you not, for 2 hours in line trying to get a parking spot. 2 hours trying to get a spot. I definitely recommend getting to the convention as early as possible. Park as close as you can to the convention center that you can walk, good distance to the car or to your hotel room. If you're at a hotel, make sure it's close enough to the convention center so it's not that far of a walk. If you can take a tram or a bus to it. The only reason why I say this is because if you're going to be carrying a lot of your packages back and forth to the car, you want to make several trips and you want to not have that far of a distance to travel to get into the convention center. Like I said, 2 hours they were waiting to get into parking. It was absolutely crazy. Next, you want to pack, actually right here we go. Okay, here we go. Whoop, I had to look at my notes, I skipped ahead. Take several breaks throughout the day. You want to definitely pace yourself, sit down a lot. There's a lot to see at a convention. You're probably going to go through the aisles multiple times. Just relax, take your time. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Definitely take your time. Next, you want to take a bag with you. And I want to show you the bag that I use for my comic convention. This is the Think Geek Bag of Holding. It's a comic convention survival guide bag. I'll take it off here. This is what it would look like. It's a Think Geek bag. I bought it about 2 years ago. It's basically by Think Geek. It has a Velcro center. So what you see right here, see this little monkey? This is a little mascot, this guy right here. He's a little Velcro patch. So this whole thing right here is Velcro. So you can stick and put your patches on it. It's called Bag of Holding. That's a D&D-esque term. It has a spot here where you can put a water bottle. Over here it has a piece that you can open up, which I believe it's over here. Yeah, over here. This is where a poster would go if you needed a poster. It's a very comfortable bag. It has a huge handle. I can put this around over my shoulder here, and it's very, very comfortable. It has a strap here. It has a spot for pins. I know people who are pin fanatics. You can put your pins here, which is an extra strap right here. You want to have a bag that has a lot of space, and you want to pack as light as possible. You don't want to have too much weight on you. It's going to burden you down. You want to absolutely pack light. I mean, this bag is very, very cool. I kind of open it up here. It's I wanted to do a full review on this bag because I actually use it, and it's a very good bag. As you can see here, lots of pockets, lots of space here. It goes in very, very deep. Also, the very top of it's cool because it's designed to work with a tablet. And what I mean by that is you open it here and it has an accordion. It accordions this piece here where you put your tablet right here. So you can literally hold your bag open these kind of yellow straps, these green straps, like this and see your tablet. And this is a clear, like, waterproof front piece that you can touch. It'd be like a touch screen if you put your tablet inside here. Very, very light, very, very durable. I've had this thing for close to, like I said, nearly 2 years now. I've never broken a zipper, never broke the bag. Everything is held, is extremely sturdy, extremely well made. I love that bag. It goes for about, I want to say, 50 bucks. And I actually picked it up at a GameStop. GameStops are selling these ThinkGeek bags because they have a deal going with ThinkGeek. You can order it online through ThinkGeek, or you can go to GameStop and buy them as well. I think you might be able to find a coupon on ThinkGeek's side as opposed to going to GameStop. Just keep an eye out for that. But I absolutely love that bag. I have nothing but good luck with that bag. It's never failed me wrong yet. Thanks for being in the chat, guys. Is the sound okay now, Jackie, still? I know that Rainbow had issues with it. Please let me know in the chat. People just came into the chat. The drink of choice today is Feisty Cherry. It's a Diet Coke drink. Something a little different. I'm not a big Diet Coke person, but I saw it and I said, you know what, it'd be a really cool idea to pick some up. So I got two different, I think it's 8-packs, and I'm also going to be doing a Zesty Blood Orange. So that's going to be another one. Thank you, Jackie. All right. Taking a look at all my stuff here. Okay. Another thing definitely is to stretch before you leave your house. And what I mean by that is definitely you want to stretch your legs out, warm your body up, because you're doing a lot of walking. So you don't want to cramp up. You want to be very, very limber when you're going to be going through the actual convention, because you can, you know, come up cramp. You could pull a Charlie horse. You want to definitely rest, relax, make sure you stretch out a few minutes before you actually go in. That's what I recommend doing. It would absolutely help. Let's see here. All right. These are something you don't want to do. You want to definitely steer clear, you want to steer clear from overpriced convention foods and drinks. They are extremely expensive at a convention. Getting a hamburger alone, you're looking at $8 to $9. Bottle of water, $3.50, $4. I would highly recommend having your bag, as I showed here, have your bag, and definitely bring snacks with you. The snacks that I'm bringing, I'll show you kind of what I'm using here. I do a lot of beef jerky, so I got my jerky right here, very, very good flavor. If you've never had Chef Cuts, this is Asian teriyaki, very, very good stuff. Again, not sponsored by anybody here, guys, so if you wanted to know, they're not paying me to say any of this. Little can of sour cream Pringles, some peanut M&Ms. We have some Snyder's pretzel honey mustard. Love me some honey mustard. Love me honey mustard. Psst, guys, if you wanted to send me anything in the mail, these would be good snacks to send me. Wink, wink. Just saying. Just saying. Love me sour stuff. Got me some Sour Patch Kids here, watermelon flavor. And last but not least is some apricots, some dried apricots. This will keep me and my girl definitely well fed for the most part. We might splurge, maybe buy a burger and split it between us. Yeah, $4 is typical. Typical, Jackie. That's what they usually charge for water. Definitely you want to bring a bottle of water with you. Absolutely. Go to the water fountain and fill it up. It's free. Definitely take it out of the tap. It's much better than buying a bottle of water there for $4. Don't do it. Don't be fooled by overpriced food. Bring your snacks with you. It should last you for a good amount of time. If you need to buy a meal, try to split it with somebody that you're with. It's much more cost effective to split a meal, because usually those bigger burgers are decent size. Get maybe, let's say, buffalo wings or nuggets, something along those lines, so you can basically snack out of it. It would be a much better idea, but definitely steer clear from any convention food or drink. It's extremely overpriced, way overpriced. Next, you want to bring plenty of battery power for your phone and your tablets. I would go nothing short of a 4,000 milliwatt, 4,000 amp battery. I would have at least one, maybe two of those battery bricks. I use one here, very, very small, very, very compact. I got it at Walgreens. If you're curious, a little button here tells you how many lights are on, how much power is available in this battery brick. This has 4,000 on this one right here. I like it because it's small. It's very tiny. I can get pretty much 2 full charges out of this battery brick at a for full charges. So definitely bring 1 or 2 of these with you because battery power is essential at a convention. You're going to be stranded without your phone or your tablet. You're definitely going to need your phone or your tablet for whatever reasons. For example, getting a hold of your loved ones, things like that, checking your emails, checking your Facebook, whatever the case may be, looking at your posts, seeing, if you go to their website, maybe you go to SuperCon's website or wherever convention you're going to website to keep a track on their Twitter feed or the Facebook account. See if they have, they might be talking about different schedule conflicts or whatever the case may be. Definitely you're going to need battery packs to bring with you. I highly recommend something small and compact. It's very, very light. Weight and being overburdened is a detriment at a convention. You want to be as light and as mobile as you possibly can. Absolutely. Keep the actual battery packs to the smallest form factors you could possibly get. Something like that, I think was about, I want to say 10, 15 bucks, maybe. I've had no issues with this. Again, it's very, very tiny. I mean, if you compare it to my phone here, I mean, this is a Galaxy S8 phone, if you're curious. It is very, very small. The form factor is very, very tiny. It can fit in a pocket. I like it because it's very, very compact and it's easy to store. You want to definitely, remember, you want to keep away from heavy, big, thick power bricks. I had one which was thicker than my phone. I mean, it was this thick and about this long. It was a 16,000 milliwatt amp battery. I can go with my phone about 8 to 10 charges on it, but it was too bulky. It was taking up way too much space. It was way heavier in that bag. So I wanted with something much more compact and thin and much more small form factor like this little charger here. Definitely recommend something like this. You can go to Walgreens, you can get them for a pretty good price. Moving on. As mentioned parking earlier, if you just came into the stream, after your purchases, try to return them to your car if you drive. If it's close to the convention center, definitely bring your stuff out to the car and come back. You don't want to be carrying around big, heavy bags, again, weighing you down, overburdening you. You don't want to be encumbered. You want to be light on your feet, moving around, enjoying the convention center. You don't want to be overburdened with too much weight. Bring your purchases out to the car, put them away. If you're going for multi-day, you had a hotel, maybe you're near the hotel you go to, definitely go to your room, put your stuff in. If you're tired, you're exhausted, keep an eye on your schedule for Q&A. You may want to take a nap, come back down to the convention center later. It's a possibility. I've done it before on multi-day conventions where you might want to do something like that. Let's see what else we got here. I'm just taking a look at my notes here. All right. Kind of a good idea here. If you're going to a multi-day convention, what I mean by multi-day convention is if you're going to a convention and you're going to be there for several days, for example, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're probably going to say to yourself, Rook, I'm going to want to buy something, high-ticket item, I'm going to say at least $100 or more. What day do I buy it? It's a very good question. I hear it a lot of times. I've actually did a lot of research into this. What day is the best day to buy something? Well, if you're buying a high-ticket item, maybe you're buying a statue. That's a high-ticket priced item. Those things go for $200, $300, $400, $500. They're probably not going to be moving a lot of that merchandise, most likely. They're probably not going to be selling it on day one. Probably not. It's usually going to, you're going to raise their price pretty high. You don't want to pull your trigger and go through your entire bankroll immediately. What I recommend doing, if you're going for multi-day, and if you're going, this is for people who go multi-day. If you're going for, let's say, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll use that as this example, and you're going to be leaving the show on a Sunday, most people will leave it, let's say, midday on a Sunday. They won't probably stay to the end of the day, most people, just to beat traffic and to get home. Maybe they're taking, they took a rental down, they want to fly back, catch their plane, or drive back if they're local to the convention, which is an extreme possibility. I had to get my drink here. The best day that I have seen to make purchases at a multi-day convention is Sunday. Wait till Sunday to make your big purchases. And the reasoning for that is because a lot of the dealers don't want to drag out more stuff to pack up their vehicle with, or their van, or whatever it is to take home, or back to their store. They want to move the merchandise and not carry it with them. You could probably get a very good deal waiting to the last day. That's what I would wait for. I would wait to the very, very last day to make those purchases, if they're big ticket item purchases. If they're normal purchases, I would say less than $100, look for a good deal. And what I mean by that is don't go to the first booth you see to buy something. Shop around. Most of the dealers there are probably selling the same identical thing from booth to booth. Definitely keep an eye open for those particular items that you're looking for and bargain shop. Look for the best deal. You don't want to just go to the first booth. Let's say you're buying a pop for $20. You go to the next booth, literally right across the aisle from it, see the identical pop for $15. You will kick yourself in the ass saying, I just lost $5. You might not think that's much, but imagine if those sales were tacking up throughout the day. You know, if you missed $5 here, $8 here, $10 here, you could be saving yourself a lot more money for those purchases for other things down the line. You don't want to buy those things. You want to be very frugal with your money. That's what I want to get at. You want to be very, very frugal with your purchases and don't buy the first thing you see. You want to definitely get to the items for the best possible deal. And one of the last things I want to talk about here, and it might sound funny, is 3 things. Negotiate, negotiate, negotiate. That means to haggle. The prices you see on the stickers are not written in stone. Definitely haggle to get the best deal. You want to get the most bang for your buck, and that means you have to open your mouth and you have to say something. Most people, let's face it, in the geek community, a lot of them are introverted people like myself. I'm not someone who will just go up to someone and start talking to them. I don't usually do that. Having a YouTube channel has helped me talk to people and be more outgoing so I can talk to someone like that and say, hey, I'll give you, you want 20 and 30 for those particular pops, that's $50. Would you do 45 for both? That's a haggle. I'm haggling the guy down $5. See if he'll bite on it. He may or may not bite on that deal. Hey, SDS, how's it going, sir? Thanks for coming into the stream. We're talking comic convention survival guide tips. I'm almost done, actually. I had a huge list of stuff, and I went through most of my stuff already. But definitely negotiate. You want to haggle. You want to get the best possible deal. Those stickers that they write on those boxes, or on a pop, or on anything. Awesome, STF. Very, very cool. You definitely want to get the best deal for you. You don't want to spend... Hey, Collecting Hobby, how's it going, sir? Definitely want to get the best bang for your buck. Don't go by what they say is written in stone, because it isn't. You have, of course, the MSRP stated price of what those things could be for retail. What I'm saying by that is don't spend so much money on those items. Just because they say it's listed for $15 or $20, work a deal out. See if you can make the guy budge on something. You will only lose if you don't take a risk. Oh, that's weird, Rainbow. I don't know why that would happen. Maybe it was a Windows update, possibly. I don't know. Maybe. But as long as you can hear me okay, that's awesome. So definitely negotiate. See what you can work out as a deal. You will only fail if you don't try. If you're basically trying to watch your money, and if you can see a pop here or a pop there, especially in multi-deal packs, when you're buying multiple items at one time, when you're buying, let's say, this pop, and this pop, they might even have a deal in place. Stream's going to be going for about another 15-20 minutes at least. Most of the Comic-Con convention survival stuff is mostly all gone, just a little more tips and tricks. Then we might just do some Q&A, I'm thinking. We might just jump into Q&A for a little bit. Next week's stream, depending on certain conditions, if they happen, I don't know if they will or not, I'm probably going to do San Diego Comic-Con 2018 reveals. That means Funko and action figures, if I can stream. I may or may not be able to. I don't know yet. We're going to see. Some stuff's going on. I can't really say what's going on yet. But definitely haggle as far as stuff when you go to a convention. If you're buying, usually when you buy multiple items, when you're buying, let's say, 3 pops, they might have a deal going, and most people who sell Funko, especially Funko, will have a deal, let's say, 3 for $30. They might do that as well. You might try to bend the rules a little. It might say, hey, I want maybe this exclusive and these 2 pops, will you do 25? You don't know. It will only hurt yourself if you don't ask. If you try and make the attempt and fail, that's fine. But if you can get away with it, why not? Why give him even more money? If you know for a fact those pops are not, he's marking them up intentionally, because that's what dealers will normally do. Sometimes they may not pay the going rate for pops, especially more, let's say, vaulted items. I've seen a lot of dealers who will really go crazy and saying, this pop is vaulted, that pop is vaulted, this pop is going to be vaulted soon, you better buy it now, and they'll jack the price up. Definitely don't be taken by those people. Definitely do your homework. Use, let's say, Stashpedia. Use Pop Price Guide. Keep your eyes on those type of price tags because they're trying to nickel and dime you. Awesome, Rainbow Optimist. Definitely haggle. You want to absolutely haggle. Don't keep quiet. Absolutely say something because you're only hurting yourself. These retailers, these sellers at the conventions are trying to make the most money they can. People may not be aware, but those tables that they buy, usually vendors' tables go anywhere from, I know collecting hobby can absolutely probably speak from the heart on this one. They're not cheap. I would say between $200 to $400 a day for those tables. San Diego Comic-Con, the big conventions, even more expensive. Definitely, they're trying to make their money back as quickly as they possibly can. But definitely haggle. You want to get the best possible deal that you possibly can get. People just came into the stream. Thank you very much. Drinks for tonight is Feisty Cherry for Diet Coke. We're doing that one. And then we're going to be doing, if the stream lasts long enough, we're doing Zesty Blood Orange. These little Diet Coke drinks. Not a big fan of Diet Coke, but I saw these flavors and I said, you know what, it sounds really good. Let me try it. So why not? Those are my Comic-Con convention survival tips. People might have come into the con a little, to the convention, the conversation a little late. The bag I usually use is this guy right here. It's the Think Geek bag of holding, sort of a D&D reference. Very, very cool bag, very, very lightweight. I always have a hand sanitizer. Definitely recommend hand sanitizer. If you're shaking a lot of hands, you don't want to get sick. It's very easy to get sick at a convention. Definitely bring your hand sanitizer with you, absolutely. As I mentioned before, I'll just cycle back to it. If you're bringing a lot of, let's say, your cell phones, your tablets, you want to bring your battery packs with you. Definitely have your chargeable battery packs ready to go. Usually 4,000 mAh is what I use at least. You want to get at least 1 to 2 charges out of a brick so you can actually recharge your phone or tablet at least 1 or 2 times. Have it, in your bag with your cable, have it charging up. This guy I think was $10 to $12. Very lightweight, very compact. Weight is your enemy at a convention. You don't want to get burdened down. You don't want to get encumbered. You don't want to have all this stuff hanging from you. You want to bring your purchases out to the car as quickly as possible. So about 30 minutes into the stream right now. Talked a lot about comic convention stuff. Let's talk Q&A now a little bit. I did everything that I talked about for comic conventions. But before I jump into that, do you guys have any tips or tricks? I agree. Always go to the bathroom before a convention if you can. Usually keep your eyes on where the bathrooms are located at a convention. They can be in very different and weird places. Usually if it's a big hall, it's usually in the front of the hall or in the back of the hall. That's where they normally are located. Definitely if you can hold going number 2, try to avoid that if possible. Number 1 is for a man. It's usually a lot easier than a woman. Definitely try not to go to the bathroom unless you have to. If you have to, make sure, it's clean. You might not find the cleanest locations, unfortunately. Any other tips and tricks you guys may have? Let me hear what you guys think. I did a lot of talking right now. I talked for literally 30 minutes straight. What do you guys think are tips and tricks? What do you have for ideas that maybe someone could really, a pointer they might have at a convention that may not know about? Let me know in the chat, please. Hit me up. Hit me up in the chat. Hit me up, hit me up, hit me up. What are some tips and tricks you guys have that that people don't normally use? Let me know, please. Let me go back to my notes here while we're taking a look to make sure I got everything. I have not. My girlfriend has, indeed. Her first convention, before she ever did a con before, she dressed up as Harley Quinn. I was extremely happy that she did. I have nothing but respect and admiration for anyone who cosplays. Absolutely to the to the nth degree. Utmost respect for those people. They can craft, they can sew, they can stitch, they can put things together. They're very constructive. They're very creative. I'm not that guy, and this stream isn't about that. I can't do those sort of things in my wildest dreams. Have I ever dressed up at a convention? I want to. I definitely want to go as an old school, let's say, Knights of the Old Republic Jedi. Something you might have saw maybe in the Phantom Menace. That sort of Jedi gear. It's going to be extremely expensive to get that gear together. I'm talking leg-high boots. We're talking Jedi robes. We're talking the tunic. We're talking gloves, bracers. You know, the bracers, the leather. I want to have. I have to go to, let's say, Ultra Sabers to get a saber made. I want the removable hilt. I don't want a blade attached. I want to have the saber at my hip. I don't want the full blade. No, definitely shoot me at either my Facebook page or hit me up on Twitter on that link, Rainbow. I definitely want to take a look at it. Absolutely. Absolutely, Rainbow Optimist. I'd love to take a look at it. I really highly recommend it. I really promote other YouTubers, people who've gone to conventions. What I don't like are YouTubers who will try to think they're very, very good at shooting comic convention videos. They talk through the stuff. They bore you. I don't like those sort of videos. I like keeping the audience entertained. That's why I shoot my videos the way I do. I show a lot of cosplayers. I have a lot of free music that I find online. I try to promote those people. As long as it's free licensed music, I love shooting those in my videos. I'm going to be hunting for more music this week for the new video I'm going to be shooting for Comic-Con, for SuperCon. I'll be shooting a 2018 video for SuperCon, absolutely. It's probably going to be very similar to what I did last year. It's going to be the convention walkthrough, showing a toy hunt, showing the stuff I pick up, showing the actual sellers. Awesome, Rainbow, thank you very much. Showing the sellers and doing video, sound and music throughout the entire video like I did before. And then the second part will be my haul video, which will showcase the stuff I picked up at the convention. That's how I normally do it. I break it into two parts, and that's what I'll probably do this year as well. It worked really well for me last time. Take a look at the chat here. Absolutely. I mentioned that Star Wars collecting hobby. Definitely get a program schedule ahead of time. You want to definitely time box out the guests. I was talking about that earlier. You want to time box out the guests that are going to be who you want to see. Also keep an eye on cancellations. And I didn't mention it before, but room changes. Most of the time you think you're going to be in a room and they show it on the schedule, you're in room, second floor, room 210. Well, you go to room 210 and you'll see a wrestling ring set up. Well, this is a chat for DC Comics. Why is there a wrestling ring here? Well, they moved the room and didn't tell anybody about it. I saw it happen, I think last year they actually had that happen where it was on the third floor now in a completely different room. So even the people who are monitoring and hosting that particular Q&A panel didn't even know that room got moved. So definitely keep an eye out for things like that. You could actually get lost really, really easily. Definitely. Especially at Star Wars Celebration, as Collecting Hobby said here. They move rooms around a lot. They have cancellations. Definitely keep your eye on who you want to see. Your time is very, very limited. It's very finite, as I mentioned earlier. You only have so much time in a day to get stuff done. Basically, time box exactly what you want to do and how long you want to do it for. The biggest thing going to comic conventions, quite honestly, guys, is the atmosphere, the ambiance, and the Q&A panels and the merch. Those are your biggest things you want to take away from the comic convention. Awesome. Collecting Hobbies. Very, very sweet. I'll plug it right now. Collecting Hobbies myself are going to be doing our next set of streams for podcasts. We're going to be shooting them this Thursday, I believe. We have a couple of them that we're going to be working on this particular week. So it's going to be very, very cool to do the... Awesome. I got the message, Rainbow. Thank you very much. I will definitely take a look at it. So the... as I was saying, yeah, so we're doing our podcast this coming Thursday for Worldwide Wrestling Podcast. Definitely take a look at that when it goes up in a few days. We'll be shooting several of them back-to-back. A lot of stuff for Worldwide Wrestling Podcast. We don't want to really talk about it right now. There's some big stuff happening, hopefully in August. I don't want to make any, don't want to let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, but a lot's going on with that channel. Now, circling back to other stuff for Comic-Cons. One thing I didn't talk about is definitely keep your eyes open at those websites that you go to for the convention, mainly for exclusives. Let's talk exclusives. We didn't talk about that yet. Most comic conventions will have some type of exclusive in place. Even if it's a small convention, they'll have maybe a special comic variant you can pick up. They might have a special Funko item that's designated for that convention. Emerald City Comic Con convention has that a lot. I believe San Diego Comic Con has tons of that stuff. Especially the Funko booth there is extremely hard to get into. You have to have a lotto system where you have to get picked to be in line to get something for the Funko booth. It's extremely difficult to get Funko stuff at those really, really big conventions. This size convention, like a medium-sized convention, they might have a special booth that does exclusives, exclusively to a convention. They might have certain items. I know MegaCon has that. SuperCon had that as well. At least last year. They'll probably have it at this year as well. Also, if you're looking to get exclusive t-shirts, exclusive merchandise, get there as early as you possibly can. It bit me in the ass last year because we were trying to get certain shirts and they sold out of the sizes really quickly. You want to get to the booths very, very fast to get that merchandise that are exclusives. Absolutely, absolutely, because that stuff goes quick. There's a high market for it. Definitely get those exclusives as soon as you possibly can. The sooner the better. You don't want to get screwed where you go in there and you're looking for a large shirt and they have no more larges, or they sold out of larges, they sold out of mediums, all I have is small and extra larges, or something like that. It happened to me last year. It could happen to you. Absolutely do that. Any other tips and tricks you have, guys? Let me know. Let me know, please, before we move on to something else. Absolutely. I was just taking a look at my notes here, make sure I got everything. I think I do. Let me go back to my notes, make sure everything is I talked about here. I think I have everything. Yep, you might force choke you. You're going to see, one thing for cosplayers, you're going to see a lot of the same guys over and over. You'll see lots of Vaders. You'll see lots of Chewbacca's. You'll see lots of probably Iron Mans as well. Those are very, very common. A lot of Harley Quinns, a lot of Jokers. You'll see a lot of that as well. Definitely stay hydrated. Absolutely. You want to bring water with you? Absolutely have a water bottle with you. If you run out of water, that's fine. Go to a water fountain and fill it up. Don't spend $4 for a bottle of water. It's way too pricey. As I mentioned at the beginning of the stream here, don't buy convention food and drinks. It's way too pricey to do that. I mentioned it earlier. Some people might come into the chat late. Some of the stuff that I actually have when I go on my when I go to the conventions are, let's say, dried fruit I bring with me. I like a lot of sour stuff, so I got my Sour Patch Kids. I'm not sponsored by anyone here, guys. It's stuff that I normally bring. Some Pringles. I do love me some honey mustard. Wink, wink. As mentioned it earlier, if you guys want to send me snacks, wink, wink. Here's some of the stuff you can send me. I love me beef jerky. I hate the hot stuff. I love normal beef jerky. If you've never had the chef cut stuff, very cheap at Walmart. $3. Extremely soft, extremely tender jerky. Very good stuff. And last but not least is some M&M's. I usually keep this stuff with us for snacks. Usually it really helps. We really did really well last year with our snacks. It's very important to bring snacks with you. Yeah, you probably could, Rainbow Optimus. Absolutely. That's what they normally charge. It's absolutely sickening. Even if you go to, let's say, a vending machine there, if you just like click the button for the water, it will say like $3.50 for a bottle of water. It's extremely expensive, and even the actual vendors who sell normal water itself, $3.50, $4 for a bottle of water. I mean, if you bought like a little pizza, like those little miniature, let's say Pizza Hut usually does those things a lot all the time, those little miniature pizzas, you're looking at $9, $10, $11 for a pizza like this, you know, let's say it's this big, this around. Those little pan pizzas, $10, $11. Easy for those little pizzas. If you have to go and buy something, if you're going with a friend, try to split a meal. Usually it'd be more cost effective that way. I mentioned earlier before, I'm kind of repeating myself now, just so people might have come into the stream a little late. Yeah, absolutely, Jackie. You're wasting your bankroll if you start splurging for food. If you need to buy something to get something to eat, definitely split it with somebody, split it with a friend. Definitely bring a water with you. Steer clear of the vending machines because they will just bleed you dry. You don't want to do that. Also, here's one thing I didn't talk about before: autographs. Let's talk autographs. This kind of I didn't mention it yet. Most celebrities, most celebrities will charge a fee for an autograph. Your higher A-listing celebrities, for example, yep, absolutely eat lunch first, absolutely grab a bite before you get to the convention. Maybe if you're going there for the out of the day, maybe leave the convention or walk to somewhere close, a gas station somewhere, grab a hot dog. Save your money. Don't go crazy on those purchases. But autographs, I wasn't going to mention it, but I figured it'd be a good time to talk about it. Most of your A-list celebrities, let's say your William Shatners, your Patrick Stewarts, maybe your Dave Batistas, your high-list A-list celebrities will charge an exuberant price for autographs. I'm talking $50, $60, $75 for just an autograph. Not a selfie, not a picture with that particular celebrity, just an autograph. I'm going to be meeting up with the guy who plays Penguin, Robin Lloyd Wright, I believe his name is. He charges $40 for an autograph. I'm going to be getting the Penguin Pop at the convention. I'm going to find it, definitely. You'll see me there finding that particular pop. I'm going to look around, I'm going to shop around and mention it as one of my tips and tricks to get the best possible deal for that Penguin Pop. I know for a fact they're going to jack the price up because the guy is signing. Usually vendors will do that to make more money because they're going to try to get that autograph for that celebrity. Definitely get the best deal for it. If they're actually signing it, usually it all depends on this, guys. If you're trying to flip an autograph, meaning you want to get the autograph and you want to sell it. Yep, Mark Hamill charges over $200. In this case, $235. I do not doubt at all. Like I said, A-list celebrities will charge a ridiculous amount of money. Now, if you're going to, for example, take that autograph and try to make a buck off of it, meaning you know you could sell it or move it, definitely don't have him address it to you, meaning the person who's having it. If you want the autograph because you want the autograph, you can have him personalize it. But if you're trying to move that item, you're trying to get the autograph to jack the price up of a certain item, to use that as leverage, awesome, dude. Most of the time, if you get the autograph done, they'll probably have someone who could do a certificate of authenticity. Try to get the cert if you possibly can. Either a picture with you, with that person, to justify you actually got that autograph done. That's actually leverage to show that, yes, this person's autograph is legitimate. Because there's a secondary market for well, thank you for the sub, whoever subbed. My thing didn't pop up, unfortunately. My little dancing guy. Sometimes it doesn't show up for whatever reason. But for whatever reason, definitely get the autograph because you want the autograph. If you're using it to leverage, Shatner's normally about 85, yeah. So I said 75 to 85. If you're doing it to flip something up, someone just went down. Oh well, I had one and lost one. If you're doing it because you're wanting to make a buck, that's one thing. I know that Jason David Frank, Tommy Oliver of the Green Ranger, I was in line for him 2 years ago to get something signed. He was charging $60 for an autograph. I walked out of line. Even though I love the Power Rangers, I love the Green Ranger, I love the White Ranger, I did not want to spend that type of money on, yep, JDF, absolutely. I didn't want to spend $60 on that. Now, for example, if I had, let's say, oh, Cool Gamer, thank you very much for subscribing. It just popped up now. It's a little late. I don't know why it took so long. And it went away. No! Had one, lost one. Had one, lost one. It's a story of my life. Story of my life. Well, I lost another one. Story of my life. Happens all the time. But definitely, if you're trying to take that autograph and raise the price of an item, you can do that. For example, if you had that Mark Hamill, let's say he signed a Luke Skywalker pop, you may want to, for example, use that as leverage to make that item more valuable. You possibly could do that. It's up to you to do something like that. But I've seen people who will do that, who will sell, and especially if that celebrity has passed away. Unfortunately, I think it was yesterday we lost Steve Ditko, one of the chief founding people who built, let's say, Spider-Man. His autographs now are going to be worth a lot of money. Just because he's no longer alive, it's going to jack the price up of his autographs. Absolutely. So it all depends on what you do with those autographs, but they're most of the time, like usually between $30 to $50. Definitely, you want to keep that in part of your bankroll. You want to push that aside as far as part of your spending money of what those autographs are, because you don't want to go over your budget. I mentioned it before, but definitely collecting hobby, absolutely. Shatner, $85. Hamill, $235. JDF, Jason David Frank, $60. These autographs are not cheap, but that's part of the fun of getting stuff signed. Also, if you're getting stuff signed, you want to try to scope out their signing schedule. Most of the time, they might have a big mural in place that says, "Hey, this person is signing at a particular time." It will let you know when that person will be there signing. Definitely keep an eye on those time zones, those time frames. You want to keep that in mind because it could conflict with your Q&A paneling. So definitely know when you want to get stuff signed and your Q&A panel, especially comic creators. Comic creators, most of the time, if they're not, let's say, A-list comic creators, you're Rob Liefeld, you're Todd McFarlane's. I would not even say Jim Lee. Jim Lee, normally, he doesn't charge. Stuff like Grant Morrison, Jeff Johns. I've gotten tons of books signed by Jeff Johns. He charges nothing. You just have a stack of books, you hand him the books. You'll talk back and forth with the guy, and he'll be glad to sign your stuff. Absolutely. But he doesn't charge. Most comic creators are very happy to get stuff signed. Those you want to get certificate of authenticities for most of the time, if you can get them. Oh, that's very cool. Yep, voice actor. Absolutely. Yep. Most voice actors do charge, especially if they're high A-list voice actors. Your Dragon Ball Z voice actors, your, let's say, Star Wars Rebel voice actors. Those type of voice actors will usually charge, usually higher prices. Definitely, from what I've seen. Heck yeah, they usually would do that. Happens all the time, actually. Take a look here real quick. Awesome. So we're coming up to the end of the hour, guys. Anything else you want to talk about when it comes to comic convention survival? Anything that I kind of missed? We talked about dressing light, having a bag. Keep yourself hydrated. Wake up early. Get there early. You want to get good parking. Bring stuff out to the car whenever you possibly can. Unload your stuff. You don't want to be encumbered. You don't want to have too much stuff on you. Go back and forth if you can. If you're going multi-day, work your schedule out of who you're going to see and what days you're going to do it. Definitely get your autographs in place. Make sure you keep your bankroll in place. You don't want to go over your budget. Don't want to go beyond your spending needs. Definitely haggle. Get the best possible deal. Don't buy the very first item you see. Work around the actual auditorium. Work around the room to see the prices that are available. Also, if you're a multi-day, wait till the last day of the show that you're there to get the best deal. Especially if it's a multi-day deal, yeah, definitely go to the bathroom beforehand. Definitely, if it's a multi-day you're going there for, go on the last possible day. If it's a high-ticket item, $100 or more, you want to work the best possible deal. Haggle, haggle, haggle. Especially if it's a statue or a high-end item. Lightsabers, statues, older pops, stuff that's been vaulted. Work the deal out that you could possibly get the best possible item. Usually autographs, you can't really haggle that. They have a set price because they get a fee that the actual convention pays for them, and they usually get all their money. That 30, 50, whatever it is, that's their money in their hand. That's how they make the most of their money. That could be their job. A lot of the actors that are now maybe, let's say, retired, or they're no longer doing a lot of movies, they charge a high ticket price because that's how they make their living going from convention to convention. That's their money. That's their paycheck. That's what they do. Their appearances are what puts food on their table. That's what they normally do. Definitely absolutely, Jackie. Keep your eyes around you and keep your eyes on your stuff. A lot of theft happens at these conventions, and you don't want to be robbed. You don't want to lose something. You want to keep everything on your person as close as you possibly can. You don't want things wandering away. Definitely keep your eyes on all your stuff. Very, very good point, Jackie. Thank you for bringing that up. anything else you guys want to talk about with the last 5 or 6 minutes. People might have gotten to the stream late. Thank you for sticking by me for the end of the stream. Next week's stream may or may not happen. Depends on a couple things going on. Yes, I do, Jackie, unfortunately. Very, very sticky fingers, so to speak. May or may not happen for the stream. I want to do San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. It may or may not happen. I don't know yet. There's some stuff going on in my personal life right now. I don't know if I'll be able to stream next week. I'm hoping I can, but I don't know yet. If I do stream, it's going to be San Diego Comic-Con 2018 reveals. We're going to be talking Funko. We're going to be talking action figures, as much information as I possibly get my hands on. It may not be the complete list of Funko as far as who's going to be doing what. It might be a preliminary list of who has what items, potentially. But it will be a list of all the releases that I can find my hands on. I'll look ahead of time to find it. I'll be doing stuff off my tablet, so I'm going to be casting to my actual monitor here, and I'll be looking over this way a lot, as you see me doing now, only because that will be how I'll be seeing stuff as I scroll through my pages. You'll see it look very, very similar where my in the corner of the screen, like down, let's say, what was that? I'll put my band, where's my finger? Right here. You'll see like my head in the corner over here, and you'll see a big web page in the middle of the screen. Very similar how I done it before. That's what I'll do when I showcase the items. You guys may or may not know about the Funko releases. There's a lot of stuff that was released for San Diego Comic-Con for 2018. There was a lot of releases. A lot of stuff happened. There's even some new Power Ranger stuff that just got released today, actually. A new wave of Power Ranger stuff is coming out. I don't believe it's part of the 2018 San Diego Comic-Con releases. I believe it's something separate. It's the next wave of releases for Funko. And there's a lot of stuff coming out. A few items I got to get my hands on. I'm very, very happy about that. You guys know I'm a big Power Ranger guy. I like Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Green Ranger, White Ranger. I try to collect as much possible stuff as I can because I like the character so much. Not a big fan of Jason David Frank's acting. I do like the Green Ranger, White Ranger character in the actual TV show. Again, I want to thank everyone who came into the chat. Yep, she was walking over here right there. That's where she was at. She was always, she's a little ham. She'll walk around every once in a while. She, if you weren't aware, she is diabetic. That's right, cats can be diabetic. She gets insulin twice a day. I've mentioned it before many times. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, which is Rook 180, the final episode, series finale number 12, there were letters for the giveaway. If you didn't see it, definitely take a look at that video. The first set of letters were in the second-year anniversary video. The next set of letters were showing up in the Rook 180 series finale episode. I'm trying to space them out every few videos, so keep an eye on them. They usually will show up very, very early in the video, just because I know people don't watch the entire video sometimes. They'll show up very, very early. So with that being said, guys, closing in on 10 o'clock, I want to thank everyone who watched this stream. Those are my pointers. That is my comic convention survival guide. I want to let you know what I thought of my convention experiences. This is all subjective. This is what Rook has seen happen on my convention scene when I've gone through convention to convention. Tips and tricks, things to do, do's and don'ts. This is all subjective. Take this with a grain of salt. Use this as an experience. Use this information to do what you think is best for conventions. This is what I personally do. I want to thank everyone who came to the stream. I'll be cutting the stream in 3, 2, 1. Thanks for coming in the stream, guys. See you later. Take care, and bye-bye.